This part of Grimes Creek, we really focused on large woody debris. You need wood in a system for a creek to be healthy. And so we installed some root wads. They're buried back into the banks, 20 and 30 feet back, because we don't want those to pop up later and cause any problems. So they're anchored in just by the weight of the tree trunks buried into the stream bank. And as you can see, they're working pretty well. We have some really large pools being formed, again, from putting some complexity into the creek. We've got pools, we've got a place for bugs, macroinvertebrates to call home. Large woody debris is good on so many different fronts. It provides cover for fish too, to hide underneath the root wads. That's typically, we find a fish there within 24 hours. You build it, they come. The other thing that this site really shows off well is the sorting of the substrate. This used to be just solid rock cobble from bank to bank, no difference in the sizing of the material. It was just one big long glide. But when you add the complexity, it sorts things out. So you end up with areas of larger cobble, areas of sand, spawning size gravel. It all works its way out. In the creek we have some boulder structures, and it's kind of a boulder garden that you might observe on natural streams, and it just creates a bunch of different complexities again, sorting of gravels, hiding places for fish, and it also takes a little bit of the pressure off of the bank, as that's an outside bend that we also did some work on. So here's another example of plantings that we installed on Grimes Creek. And this site we call the high terrace because it's up a little bit in elevation than some of the floodplains. However, it's perfect for these cottonwoods. Cottonwoods like to have a step up off the creek. So all of these cottonwoods are 1 year old, and our success rate ended up to be around 97% on their survival so far. School kids put those in a year and a half ago.
Today, it's axe restoral time. I got two of my dad's old axes we're going to try to restore. Let's get started. So what we have, two axes. One's a Kelly Perfect. I believe it's a splitting axe just by going from its shape. Of course, we've got our True Temper logo on here. It's got a little bit of round over that we're going to have to try to file. Outside of that, the axe is in really good shape. Let's see. Looks like we just have a nail. Looks like a nail, and yeah, that's wood just kind of sent through it. But outside of that, there's hardly any wedge left in this guy. So that's the Kelly Perfect. The other one is just a typical plumb. I believe it's just a splitter. Nice steel wedge. I guess it doesn't look rusted, probably aluminum. The round over on the edges of this isn't as bad, just a little bit here. It's marked M3.5. This one, I believe, has a reusable handle. We still have to see what's going to be underneath the wrapping. Okay, so we've got the plumb axe chocked into the vise. Got a 5/32 drill bit and some self-tapping screws. We're going to try to put some holes in this wedge and see if we can pop the sucker. actually managed to stay within that wedge. What we got? Yep, just came out of that tooth here. Just came out on that one. That's what it is, just nice and light aluminum wedge. So let's see if we can get this axe head off. Alright, so I got a dead blow. Just got some shot in it. And a scrap piece of African Macquarie that I used for making some cutting boards this Christmas. So. Almost out. There we are. Okay, so that went smoother than expected. Certainly much thanks to Cody over at the Wrangler Star channel and the guys over at Axe Junkies. I mean, learning by osmosis just from those two places for the most part. So let's see what we got. So here's the plumb head. Everything looks nice and clean on the inside. Looks like when it was made, this side's a little thicker than this. But yeah, totally doable. As far as the handle, it totally is restorable as far as I'm concerned. We're at least going to try it. I do have some extra axe handles just in case, but we're going to sand this thing down. It's got this nice red finish on it, but we're going to sand it down, just give it the boiled linseed oil treatment. No cracks or nothing in it, so. Alright, well, let's see what we can do about getting the head off of the Kelly Perfect. Alright, so let's see what we can do with this. I'm just going to try to get in with the screwdriver. Just try to pry up some of this stuff. Let's see what we get.